Hi everybody, and welcome to Watercolor in the Psalms with Pam. Once again, I have to confess that I deleted this video. This is yesterday's video. I had it all done. Was going to publish it for you, and I don't know how, if I didn't hit record or if I lost it, I'm not sure. But I can't find it, so we're doing a retake. This was one about greens. I just wanted to play with all different green and some gold. So we did the color wheel, and I think we're going to look at that first as how to make some colors. Our verse today is Psalm 13, verse 6, and it says, "I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me." I know that some of you may have seen this picture before. I have it on a calendar that I made this year. I have it in a book that I did at another class. So it's been around. It's a little different. This one has no berries. We're going to go without berries just for the simplicity of it and for something different. So anyway, let's get started. I also, if you see these marks, I learned that I need to stay within these margins so that you can see. So we're going to do several different greens. And I'm going to just take my color wheel here, and we're going to make our green because it was fun doing that. I've got my palette here. I think I can get that in the video a little bit. And my clean water. And I'm going to make it with my Ming Ling water set. So I'm going to start by getting some yellow here, a little more. I didn't make this wet pre. And then to get the green, we need to clean off your brush, dry it, and add some blue. See on our wheel? We're going to get green with the yellow and the blue. Oh, yep, and this is the cobalt blue. Looks like we need a little more blue to get a richer green, and then we get a little more blue-green. It's always a little touchy, I found. Maybe that's why I've never been real fond of making my own green. It's easier just to pull it out of a palette. So there's one green, okay? Now I'm going to take that same green, and as I look here, we could get this green or this green. So out of this green, we can add some more blue. It'll give it a little bluer, darker. But I got another trick I want to show you. So we got a little darker green. And as usual, I like to do a little test. So here's one green. Here's the other green. You can see it's a little lighter. And let's see, we kind of want to get a different tone of green. So we have maybe even more blue-green. Maybe we dip into... to get the aqua, we would need more blue, but let's just kind of go to an aqua blue and with the yellow. So I'm going to go with a turquoise, which is not on my color wheel, and I'll put it here. Okay, clean off my brush, get into my yellow, and come up with another green. I want that to be bluer. I'm going to dip some more into my turquoise because I want that to be kind of a bluish green. That's too blue. I actually need, my yellow is getting a little low. Some more yellow. And we're getting close to the same ones we had before here. So my thought was, on our color wheel, one way to make a shade difference would be to go across, okay? So across from that is red. And I have some red here, and I'm just gonna activate that red, and I'm gonna put it in here and see what we get. We're getting a real red-green. But that's okay, we had a lot of red. So let's go back and put our yellow. This is why ahead of time you need to do some mixing, getting your colors together. And I'm going back to that turquoise, and I'm hoping to get this on that order. I don't mind that green. It's kind of a dark, I actually kind of like that. I think that would be pretty cool in there. And as we go lighter, darker, I think those are good greens. So we're gonna go with that one and the other two that we picked. So find some greens, 2 or 3 different ones. Oh, this was my sample. I was gonna paint on and I didn't see it. The verse today talks about singing, and I don't know if any of you know it, but I love to sing. When I get in the car and it's time to ride, I put my volume on high and I sing. I'm always alone. Nobody wants to ride with me and sing. Not that I'm a bad singer, it's just that I like to really shout it out. So I love to praise the Lord through singing. So today, take a minute and praise the Lord in the way you'd like. If it be singing, if it be sharing something, find a way to thank God for being so good to you. All right, we're going to go to it. We need to have room here, and it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So with our 7 lines and our ruler, I'm going to start because I do need to make sure, I'm going to put this here so you can see. I do need to make sure that we can put this on here. This is going to be a great card. This is actually a 4 by 5.5 for my retake. I believe I did that with the last one as well. I'm getting a lot of nice cards doing this. So we'll make sing just a little bigger. Sing to the Lord, for he has been, a little bigger again, good to me, and found in Psalms. And we do that so as we design our work, we know where our words are going to be. We're also going to need a little brown, and it doesn't matter what brown you like. Pick a brown. I think I've got some brown on my palette. We're going to make sure, because that's how we're going to start. So with the brown, I'm going to first draw my first line just because I want to be sure I do it right. And I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to make my branch, and I'm not going to try to be perfectly perfect. I want to, the branches aren't always perfect. And we want to fill up a space here, and we want to come over here. Maybe we'll get a branch up here, one that come here. Maybe something little comes over here yet. That's a good start. I might do one off. I might do one here off that, and maybe one off here this time. Make a few more. Spread them out a little bit. Okay? So, take that brown, and you can lightly erase this if you want. To be honest, you really don't have to, because that mark's not going to show that much if you follow it. And like we've done in the past, just make it we're just making the thin line for our branch, just so we know where it's going to be. We'll fill the branch in later, but we have to know where to put some leaves, because I don't want to just put them out there and not have any branch to them. So we're going to just get some fine line branches. I got off my line. I'll erase it later. Maybe one right there. So we got some branches, okay? I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to start with our lightest green. So of the greens that you picked, pick the lightest, and we're going to water it down. Make sure you have a tissue in your hand, so that if you want to mop, and I'm going to use, so you know, I'm going to use my number 2. This is a little fatter 2 round brush than some of these would maybe be a 3. Depends what you have, but not a liner, but some type of a little bit wider. Okay, and we're just going to start up here, and we're going to make a light one. We're not attaching it to there. We're going to put a stem to go to it. If you want that even lighter, you can clean your brush off with some water. You can pull some more color. You can even touch on it so it doesn't get puddles, so you don't have any water lines. But I don't mind this green. I think that's I don't want to get too light, but I want light for the first layer. And I'm going to put one down here, and we're just going to scatter them. Okay, so make sure if you feel it's too dark, you just come back, and these are pretty much filled in. We're not making any, how do I say that? We're not doing anything with like textures, so on. If you end up with a little puddle like that, it's okay. I recommend that you sap it up just a little bit today. We got some nice lines on this one. I want to blend them in. I don't want it quite so distinct. So put some light ones on all the different areas. Just scatter your light branches around. I mean your light leaves. And if you don't like it, tap it down. But we want some light ones everywhere. Okay. This is kind of a practice in just making a cool, in my book, it's really a cool card. It's a great page. It's good on practicing making your leaves. Like if you want to just plain practice is what I find most my journal is a lot about practice. All right, so we got the first color. Now I might take that same color. No, I'm not, sorry. I'm gonna go to the next color and I'm gonna do the same thing. Remember that one that's kind of a bluish? I'm gonna do some real light ones of that. Let's see, I got water ready to drip here. We're gonna put some real light ones of that. I like that blue. Gives a really nice contrast in a few places. Kind of on the end. And just find some spots that you want to, you know, we're trying not to put them on top, we're trying not to put them all next to each other. But you could put it on top of another one if you wanted. That's okay. I'll even do that in a minute. If it gets to be too heavy, take some of that off. If your brush has got too much on, tap some of the paint off as you're going. You know, I'll show you what I mean. I think we'll do one here that it comes right over top. Because on a tree, the leaves kind of go up and down. We got one more green that I had there. I'm not sure if this one's darker or lighter, to be honest. But we're just gonna, hopefully it's a little different tone because that's what I was going for, but I would say yes, it is. And you don't have to have as many. You can have them be little leaves if you'd rather. Again, you can have it go on top of one. You can have it wherever you're looking. I really did not plan this, okay? There is no planning. So that's the first lighter shade. Now we're going to go back to that first one we had, and we're going to be a little more pigmented. Try not to make it so watered down, and I want it to be a little darker. And what I love about this is now when I go, you didn't even know it was the same color as before, but it just brings a different color in there. And hopefully you've made enough green of your colors, but if you didn't, that is the beauty of this picture. It's not going to matter. Just make some more green. The whole object was just to be painting some green leaves. If you happen to have gold, we're gonna put some gold on it as well. I think that's a lot of them there. I'm gonna switch to the next one, mainly because I'm almost running out. Do the same thing. I'm gonna try to make that one be dark. I want it to be darker than the one we just did if I can. And that may require it being more saturated. That'd be one thing if you got a little heavier pigments in it. And, ooh, look at here, I stuck my hand in that one. He's gonna get a new color. And just keep going. It is all about layering. Looks like we could get a different one there. And I'd like to make sure we get some of these nice dark ones on there and cover up another one if you can. Let's see, we got a dark one there. Let's put a dark one here. And you could go one shade darker if you want, and you might achieve that by adding, like we did the red, would be one way, or making it the pigment a little bit thicker will do it. This is supposedly our more bluish one. And I got these pretty close to the same size. You might want to try to even get them bigger if you want to do a bigger one. I'm not going to have too many that are bigger, to be honest. Looks like they're going to be pretty much the same size. And I'm trying to watch so I don't go to where I wrote. And I think that I could keep going, but I'm going to stop. All right. So it's just a matter of building 2 to 3 layers of each color. See, my hand went in there. You can, I have some nice clean water here. Usually you should be able to make it wet. And you'll be able to pick that mistake up somewhat. Usually, if you get on it right away. That's pretty close to gone. And that's just me sticking my hand in it. Okay, now we're going to go back to that brown. Take another smaller brush again. Get back to a little heavier pigmented this time. Okay, I'm going to have a little more paint on that brown than I did the first time. And I'm going to go upside down. For me, it's easier. And I'm just going to do the same thing, but when I come here, I'm going to make a stem. I'm going to attach my leaves the best I can. So my branch went up and in here and there, kind of trying to find where they come in. This one here, I don't even know if you can show where it came because he was down here, so maybe he attached there. And this one doesn't either. I'm just going to get him there. This one's going to attach here, and I'm going to come back and just go over my branch. Kind of jaggedy. I'm going to put another coat of paint on him as well. But for right now, I'm just trying to get my stems and my leaves to attach to my branch. And you could say, well, I would prefer it to have a green. Then you may do that. Don't put the stem in, just darken your branch. I just happen to like the brown. But that's just me. I'm not sure if you really look close. Some of these I got too thick. And I'm just going to keep going. This one will probably come here and then hide. It's underneath. Until you get all of them got some type of a stem. Now I said we're putting some gold in, and we will, but I wanted just to get these in first, so I kind of knew where they were. Probably could have done the gold first as well. Didn't think about it, but like I said, this is a retake for me. So I actually threw all my notes away. So this one here looks like it came right through here. And I like that. I think that looks pretty good. I think we got most of them. All right. let's get into our gold. My gold, I forgot to activate it, so I have this little gold that I got as a gift with my 12 Days of Christmas from Emma Love. I don't know how to say it. Emily or Emma. And now that that's activated, I am going to add a few gold leaves. If you use gold, just make sure you have it activated good. I love the gold because I think it just adds some, especially at Christmas time, it really does some cool things. You can actually make one here that you didn't see it come from anywhere. You can make this one, the main one. I didn't have one there. You may have to come back and put a second coat depending how well it's activated. And you don't have to put a lot of them, but I do want to see some if you've got the gold, because I think it's really pretty. All right, we're going to stop with that for now. I'm not putting the stems in because they are still wet, okay? We'll come back for them. Let's take out your pen, and we're going to write the verse a minute while these just kind of dry a little bit more. And it's I decided on this one, I am going to do the letters all up, down, everywhere. They're not necessarily going to follow the line. They might be shorter. They might be taller. They're not all going to be the same. They will be all caps, so I will and sing. I'm going to calligraphy or whatever we want to call that. And you'll see what I do because I've got that there. Hopefully I make it work right. To the, and boy, that didn't work the way I was planning it. We'll make it work though. L-O-R-D. That's okay. For he, and I am really cut it close here because I should have kept that one over, has, I'm going to try to make it real narrow. We're going to come over here with the bend because the bend's not going to fit, so we're going to put the bend here. Because good is not super big, we can manage. Good. To me. Now, if I had thought about this again, I would have waited to do this line, so I didn't have my words in there, okay? But we didn't. So anyway, Psalm 13, verse 6. All right, and we're going to put the date here. And since it's the 13th, we're going to put, oh shoot, you don't want to do this on your card. This no longer will be a card with the date up there. Sorry about that, but that's okay. This is a good practice. Now we're going to do something fun with the ink. We're going to come and cover our leaves. You can fill the stem in if you want. You don't have to do them all. Do whichever ones you want. You can put lines to make them that way. You can add a leaf here. just out of nothing. Because it looks kind of cool. And at this point, I'm going to stop and I'm going to show you this one again. So you can see here, I actually even painted some. I didn't do that on that one. I painted some with no insides, just the paint. I did the gold with just the paint and not the inside. Some of them I lined, some of them I didn't. Just kind of mix and match on that. And I'm going to let you create how you'd like to finish that. To finish this one, there's a few things we need to do yet. And with our thin brush, you need to either go with another coat of brown, because I want to see some dark, or better, take that little blob of brown that you had here, and I don't always go with black, but I'm going to put just a tad bit of black in here to get a darker brown. You can also go with a different brown on your palette if you've got a darker brown. But I just kind of want to get some shading on the one side. Just a little bit darker. I'll show you on this one how it turned out. You'll see on this one where I had dark spots just to give it some more character to your branch. So that is today's. I apologize. I do know that the next video ended up in 2 segments because I needed to dry, and I didn't realize that when I went to do that, I completely ran out of battery and stopped my phone. But there'll be part 1 and part 2 for tomorrow's. And I'll have this one on yet today for you. And happy painting, and take some time today to sing to the Lord, for he has been good to you. Thank you.